Welcome back to FryMinis. I'm Eric, and today we're going to take a look at and paint the Gargantuan White Dragon. Alright, so thanks for clicking in. So the Gargantuan White Dragon, this is a little bit older. You can get it for I think $35. It's actually part of the Pathfinder Battles Deep Cut set. So I think most of you know by now I paint minis. Check me out on Instagram, instagram.com/FryMinis, and you can see other minis I've painted over there, including the Gargantuan Green Dragon from the same set. This is one of the first really big ones I painted. And then recently, I've also painted, well, relatively recently I guess, I've painted the WizKids Young Adult White Dragon. So I think this color scheme worked out pretty well. We've got a little bit of blue, some whites and some grays, and black accents. And I think we're gonna stick generally to the same on that with this guy, but here we go. All right, let's go ahead and get it open. Flight stand and a base, and we'll do some cool basing effects with them too. All right, inside the box, we've got the base with some pegs for the feet, and then we've got the flight stand itself. And inside the box also the mini itself, of course. To save some time, use a pair of scissors you don't care about. And then our dragon itself. So it's pre-primed with Vallejo. Should hopefully be fairly straightforward to paint. Well, we're never sure until we do it, so. All right, so we started out with Vampiric Mist. So the mini is primed in a light gray, but we wanted to go with kind of a sparkly white. There's not glitter in it or anything, but we just wanted to switch the main color over to white. I mean, it is a white dragon, of course. And this is really heavily watered down. You almost always want to water down your paints, but here he is all painted up, fully Vampiric Mist. Now with this shark bite paint, we're going to fill in his mouth. That way, if we need to do any touch-ups, we'll be able to just go around like the teeth or the lips if we need. Now Ice Devil Blue. So this, we're really going to thin down, and this is where we're going to start changing the color away from just white. So we'll mix it up, and then this is what we're going to use for the wings. So we're definitely going for like a frigid look, not just a white look. If this is white, we just paint it white, call it a day. But we want to be a little bit more elaborate than that with this guy. So after we do the wings, we're going to do all the flappy bits. So the little arm wings, the spine, its little head frills, everything. Anything that looks like this particular kind of soft, relatively soft flesh is where we're going with this. Now the spines on the wings, we're going to come back with that Vampiric Mist. So black and steel, this is kind of a metallic. We're going to use this for the nails and the teeth and the sharp bits. We'll eventually take it away from being so harshly metallic, but this gets us a good spot. Okay, so Frosty Blue. This we're going to do the belly. We're going to use Frosty Blue here on scales in the middle, down the belly. All these different light blues and teals, it gives us a cool cold variety without being monochrome. And we're going to hit the shins too. With the blue flame, we're going to do almost an edge highlighting. This will just give us a little bit more depth on the scales. Now, all right, so if you are a super hardcore painter, look away. This is going to drive you nuts. We're going to take a lot of contrast paints and we're going to use this almost like a wash across the entire mini. This will give us some texture, some color, some depth, and it'll tone down the vibrant blues. I ended up using almost the whole pot of contrast paint here, so this became a very expensive mini to paint. I'm absolutely pooling that stuff on thick and then right on the belly, and then we can just spread it around. And if you dribble a little bit because you are pooling, just pick it up. So, I mean, you can see from where we were with just the white, it's amazing. So with the Vampiric Mist, we're going to do some dry brushing. So now we've got these pretty harsh blues in this gray, and we want to bring up the brightness a little bit. So you can already see that dry brushing with that Vampiric Mist brings us back to our original tone color. We'll do this over the entire mini. Now we'll actually do this in 2 stages. So with Vampiric Mist, we're going to go a little heavy. You can see there the difference between the wings, and we'll get all down the sides. So with pure white, we're going to do some more dry brushing, but here we're going to go a little bit more of a soft touch because pure white is pure white, and we're just using that as highlights. So Asmodeus red, we're going to get some deep maroon red eyes. And Holly Berry, we're just going to do a little dot to give it a little bit of a glow. All right, so start putting it together. A little super glue. Plug that peg right in that very strange spot. Now the base is very smooth, right? So for us to put snow on it, we want to rough it up a little bit. If you're not putting basing materials on, obviously don't. Now, Huge Minis, that make some of my favorite basing effects. This is their snow. I've got an affiliate link in the description, actually. You can get 10% off your order. So we just start spraying it on. We're getting it generally there. And then with our fingers, because we're going to go with smooth snow. I got tired of it. This is such a big base to apply snow, so finger paints work. Stick a little bit of glue in the hole, and then shove the peg right in that hole. And then he'll stick to the snow a little bit. And I did put a little bit more snow to cover up the peg. With more Huge Mini effects, we're going to add some bushes and some blue flowers, just to break it up the snow a little bit. And because it is snowy, we're going to use a little bit more of that pure white. We're just going to go a little bit on top of all the plants to make it look like there's snow sitting there. All right, here he is stuffed into my light box. I can't get a complete picture because he is so big. Well, I had a blast painting this guy. So this is the WizKids Deep Cuts Pathfinder Gargantuan White Dragon. I think I got that right. Lots of fun. Look at all the grass, how it turned out, all the different effects on the wings. And you can see we've got the different colors. I think he really turned out great. We've got all this variety of blues and whites. Those red eyes, I think, are really, really popping out there at you. I think he'll fit right in with my other Gargantuan dragons. So with the exception of the contrast paint, the Citadel contrast, this was the Apothecary white. All the other paints we used were Reaper. I really like Reaper paints. I think you get really great quality, really great price. They're nice and thin. You only need to water them down sometimes. I used an assortment of brushes. I don't have a real strong affiliation with one yet. I use what I can where I can. One of the reasons I chose to paint this particular dragon is WizKids has an upcoming Gargantuan Ancient White Dragon, pre-painted. So I had a blast painting this. This was really great, really easy to paint. The larger minis tend to be easier to paint, but they can also be daunting and really take a lot of your paint. Whenever I start a mini, I always try to finish it on the same day, and I'm almost always able to make that happen. I feel when I don't, I might get distracted or forget about exactly the plan I had. And because he's a snowy white dragon, I assume he's going to be a little wet, so I applied a glossy varnish spray. And just to give you some example, so this is a similar white dragon without the gloss. This might be one of those things that it really stands out more in person than on camera. And a glossy varnish is always a great way to seal and protect a mini, especially one that you spent a good amount of time on. So now that we have the Patreon up and running, we've got a new feature. So every month I'm going to recognize one of the minis that a waffle or higher tier patron of mine has posted. So this month I'm recognizing Mr. Mike with his Orc Warrior. This is a Hero Forge mini and he did a really great job. It's very clean, very bold and vibrant colors. This would look great on any table. Awesome job, Mr. Mike, and thank you for being a patron. And I'd also like to thank all my other patrons. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. If you want to get your mini recognized, I've got a link to patreon.com/FryMinis in the description below. Or if you just want to come hang out, check us out on Discord. I've got a link in the description for that too. I think this would be a great first big mini to paint. It was very clean, very simple. And with a white dragon, you can get pretty basic if you'd like. And of course, you could always paint it as something other than a white dragon. Maybe it's a green dragon or a red dragon. Who cares? It's up to you, whatever you want. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.